Hey guys, welcome to a brand new YouTube channel,
Football Fandom.
My name is Umar.
And my name is Vishu, and on this channel we will be discussing everything about football, different predictions,
Reviews and previews,
transfers and rumors.
and much more. But with our focus being on the English Premier League.
In today's video, we will be discussing about upcoming Premier League season 2021, which are the different teams involved in it, what we feel how these teams will perform in this season, which are the notable transfers, and our final predictions. So we feel that this video might be a bit too long, but please watch this video till the very end, because I'm pretty sure if you're a Premier League fan, you're gonna love it.
First, we'll be talking about the three newly promoted teams, that is Leeds United, West Bromwich Albion, and Fulham. So Vishu, your thoughts about them?
All three really good teams, I believe. However, Leeds are comparatively much better as compared to West Brom and Fulham. They are a really good defensive side. They have a really great manager in Marcelo Bielsa. Strong defensive unit, had a really great campaign last year in the Championship. Have acquired Rodrigo, right? Yes, so I see them doing well in this Premier League season, causing a couple of upsets along their journey. They wouldn't be, fighting for the relegation drop, I'm pretty sure. I think a comfortable mid-table season for them. For me, I think they'll finish somewhere around 13th.
Oh, I think for me, they're going to be a little bit higher than that. I would predict them 11th, maybe 10th as well. Reason being, they are a team which are coming back in the Premier League after a really long time, in more than 10-15 years.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, more than that. And they are a team which take a lot of pride in themselves. They are proud about the fact that they are coming back to the Premier League. They have a rivalry against Chelsea and Manchester United. So, they will make sure that they want to make a statement. That's the reason for the big name signing as well. And they'll make sure that they'll have some kind of upsets as well. I think that will give them a little bit of edge and ensure that they finish a little bit higher up. So for me, they'll be finishing on 10th this season. The other two teams?
I think for West Brom and Fulham, I think both of these teams are more or less on the similar lines.
Okay.
With West Brom, I think they have a good manager in Slaven Bilic who has experience of working in Premier League.
Right.
But overall, in terms of looking at the quality of the squad that they have, you could call it as a good championship quality squad, but then I don't see them competing in the Premier League.
Okay.
Same goes with Fulham. Really great, I wouldn't say great, but then really passionate manager, a great player, great former player, Scott Parker, right? They have Mitrovic, but overall the squad quality, I just don't feel that's there enough to compete with the likes of Premier League teams. So for me, both of these teams are going down. I think Fulham would be the first one to go down. I would place them on 20th. The next would be West Brom.
And I think I share the same thoughts as well. I think Fulham and West Brom are going to suffer the drop. So that leaves basically just one team for the relegation zone. Who do you think that might be?
I think for the third relegation team, it will be a battle between Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Newcastle United, and Brighton.
Okay.
I still feel Brighton will do well in terms of surviving. They've got Adam Lallana in there recently, but I think they'll just stay clear of relegation. But I think with the likes of Villa, Palace, and Newcastle, it will be a close competition there. Villa have their own problems in terms of on both ends of the pitch.
Right.
They don't seem to score a lot of goals. They are heavily reliant on Jack Grealish.
Right.
In terms of conceding goals as well, they can't stop conceding. So I'm not really sure how they're gonna fix that problem. Last season as well, they were lucky to scrape through on the very last day of the season. In terms of Crystal Palace, they are again, one-man team. You can say Wilfried Zaha is the
Always
person.
reliable.
Exactly.
Right.
Last season, however, they were managed to do pretty well because they had a good patch of 6 to 7 games where they managed to keep their defense tight. Right?
Absolutely.
However, if you notice their patch at the tail end of the season, they went on 7 straight league defeats before kind of drawing to Tottenham Spurs on the very last game. And with respect to Newcastle United, I think they have a decent squad, but their brand of football is something I'm a little worried about. Their negative brand of football hasn't really given them, or hasn't really
Help them
yielded.
in any way, right?
So that's where their problem comes in. They have good players in Almiron, Saint Maximin.
Right.
You talk about Joe Linton. So I think amongst these three, for me, Aston Villa will go down. I'm so sorry, Villa fans.
Yeah.
I myself don't want
John
Villa to.
Terry is there.
Yeah. So I am a Chelsea fan.
Right.
Hence, I obviously do not want Aston Villa to go down. But then I don't see them surviving this season. They will go down for me. So Villa will go down. I think then probably Palace would finish 17th and Newcastle would finish 16th.
Okay. So for me as well, I think there are similar teams, but I think only the exception is Brighton. I think they'll be finishing a little higher up for me. As far as the relegation zone is concerned, I think Newcastle will suffer the drop according to me. Reason being, I think last season, the entire season, in fact, there was the rumors and news of the takeover of Newcastle being sold.
Everyone was expecting a takeover.
Right, to go through. So the entire season was hounded by that, and media was focusing on that. So it becomes difficult for the managers and players to stay focused on the football pitch when there is so much media and frenzy surrounding the club. So I think this season also there are reports coming in that they will be there will be another try to take over as well. So I think that again hounding them with again no new signings and all the things that you mentioned, I think Newcastle for me is going to be the third team that's going to suffer the drop. As far as the other positions are concerned, I think for me 17th would be Aston Villa, 16th would be West Ham, and 15th would
West Ham.
West Ham, and Crystal Palace would be 15th, like you said, because of the reasons.
For me, I would put West Ham a little higher there.
Okay.
I think for me, West Ham will finish somewhere around 12th.
Okay.
They underperformed last year. They have a decent manager in David Moyes.
Right.
Sebastian Haller, I mean, I'm pretty sure you
He's
guys
a
would
good
even
player,
yeah. We are yet to see the best of him.
Best of him,
They've got players like Yarmolenko, Declan Rice, Ogbonna, a pretty decent team. I think they underperformed last year, and I expect David Moyes to kind of put these pieces together and kind of just push these players in terms of achieving a little higher this season.
Okay.
For me, I would put Burnley on 14th. Again, kind of I don't expect a kind of expansive brand of football.
Okay.
When it comes to Burnley, right? They'll be kind of very tight in terms of defending, and
Right.
it doesn't matter how you score goals as long as you're scoring goals.
Yeah, they just need the results.
So yeah, I mean I expect them to grind out results, but then I this season I would put them on 14th. 13th, yes, I've already placed Leeds there.
Okay.
12th is West Ham for me, and for 11th position I would like to put Southampton there.
Okay.
One of the best decisions I think Southampton have made last season was to keep Ralph Hasenhuttl. He's a great manager.
Right.
I'm noticing him since past couple of years. I've seen his Leipzig side, a really great attacking side, quick in transition, high pressing.
Well set up,
Yeah, and even along with that, they were they had a watertight defense
Right.
last season. In Leipzig. In Southampton, though, he doesn't have similar profile of players
Right,
here.
right. Different personality.
But I think he's trying to change tactics and strategies accordingly.
Right.
He's got a really good goal scorer in Danny Ings.
Right, right.
So you've got at least
Goals
15
there.
odd goals
Absolutely.
per season if you provide him with the service.
Right.
So yeah, for me, more or less the similar season for Southampton this season. They've lost Højbjerg to Spurs,
Right.
but I don't think that would be a major concern considering their entire team. I would put them on 11. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, for me also I think similar kind of teams would feature there with the exception of Brighton only. So on 14th I've put Burnley, same like you. On 13th I've placed Brighton. The reason being they have got Adam Lallana on a free transfer from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Although he's 32 years old, but if he manages to stay fit for the
Big-
entire
big
season,
if.
yeah, big if. But if he does, then he will be a great addition to them. He'll kind of play the anchor in midfield, try to set them up from defense to attack. And I think that will be a great addition to them. And reason being, I'm putting them, 2 spots above your prediction, and 13th for Brighton. 12th for me again would be Southampton, and 11th position I think fits well for Sheffield United, according to me.
Well, you've put them in 11th. I
Okay.
think for me Sheffield would be 10th.
Okay.
They had a great last season. I don't expect them to have the similar season.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to have a really bad season as well.
Okay.
Chris Wilder knows his team. He knows how to set up his team.
Inside out.
They are a very strong defensive unit. They don't score as many goals, but they don't concede many goals either. So I am pretty sure they'll have a more or less a decent season this time around. I expect them to finish 10th.
Okay.
And on 9th, I've put Everton.
Okay.
I think Everton massively underperformed last season. With the players like Richarlison, you talk about Calvert-Lewin, you
Right.
talk about they're linked with Rodriguez, James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
They've got Allen as well,
Right.
Lucas Digne. I mean, really good squad, and with a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, you know that okay, that squad is going to perform. I think they were pretty unlucky last season with a couple of
I
games.
think Ancelotti has not yet fit in the system. I think this season he will be.
I
able to
think
get
this
better
season
results.
they'll
Right.
get better for
Right,
sure.
right.
I expect them to be on 9,
Okay.
and I'll put Wolverhampton Wanderers
Okay.
on 8. They've lost Doherty
Minority to
to
Spurs.
Spurs, but overall you know what to expect from Wolves, right? I mean they're a compact side, and that's how they go ahead with each and every game that they face.
Right.
So I think pretty decent, but then I don't expect them to kind of challenge for Europa League spot,
Okay.
or they would just challenge, but I don't expect them to get the Europa League spot.
Okay.
And just missing out on Europa League spot, I think I've put Leicester there.
Okay.
They've lost Chilwell. I still think they have enough quality,
Okay.
but I think they'll miss out by a fraction there.
Alright.
Good manager in Rodgers. They've got a great goal scorer in Jamie Vardy. So with him,
Last season's top
last
scorer.
season's top scorer.
Right.
So
But they are
yeah.
heavily dependent on. I think once he hits a bad patch of form, they
Last
get
season
the-
as well, I think
right,
he went on a dry run for
Right,
like
right.
4 to 5 games, and I
then
think
the
they were not
results
well.
will
Yeah.
come, right.
I think after Project Restart, they were not that great. I mean,
Right.
before that, they were
Struggled for
really
results.
yeah,
They
correct.
struggled for results.
But yeah, I mean, I think they'll miss out on Europa League spot. So those are my predictions.
For me also, I think absolutely same predictions. As you can see, only exception is Leeds being on 10th because like the reasons I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Apart from that, 9th is Everton, 8th is Wolves, and like you said, 7th is Leicester City as well for me.
Okay, great.
Okay, let's shift our focus to the top 6 because this is where it gets interesting and difficult to predict.
Okay, very tricky.
Right.
But I think on 6th I've put Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm very impressed with Arteta and his work. He's won 2 trophies recently. So,
Right.
And yeah, I mean, you see the changes in Arsenal in terms of their build-up play, in
Right.
terms of the way they set up for the team, 3 at the back,
Right.
very low block. However, I don't see them challenging for the Champions League spot as of now. I think they'll be in the Europa League. But I think Arsenal would be the team which would really trouble the top teams,
Okay.
especially because of the way they play. They usually set up very low
Right, right.
defensive block, and counter attack is
Right.
what their best weapon
Mhm.
has been. I think they'll do well against the top half of the teams, but then against teams which play the similar kind of football, I think that's where they'll probably struggle. So they'll probably struggle with the bottom half, teams in the bottom half of the table. On 5th, I've put Tottenham Hotspurs.
Okay.
With Jose Mourinho's teams, you know what to expect. Defensively solid, he'll try to instill his mentality in the team.
Right, right.
And I feel as long as the Harry Kane and Son are fit, I think you can expect fireworks there. They'll be solid defensively. They've acquired Højbjerg, Doherty, good additions in the squad. So yeah, 5th for Spurs, and on 4th I have 4th spot I've given to Manchester United.
So you put Manchester United in the Champions League spot, and even though I am a United fan, I have not put them there. The reason being because if you've seen the previous season, I think on the last day At the 90th minute is when it was decided that you're going to secure a Champions League spot. That too depending on another team's result. So really not a great season for them. No major signings as of now. He's been struggling in that department as well. They're kind of building a team for future. Mason Greenwood, I think, was a great find for them. They've signed a 15-year-old teenager, 2 17-year-old kids. So they are building a team for the future, but the issue is they need someone right now who can make a difference to them. I think Bruno Fernandes coming in did that to a certain extent, but they are still lacking in 1 or 2 departments. So they need to have a few players who can probably bring in that effect immediately, because the clubs like these, what they're doing, they're trying to instill, which I personally like, is getting in players who are managers who are ex-players, who have played for the club. So like Arsenal, have Arteta, Ole Solskjaer, Frank Lampard, etc. So they know what it's like to play 90 minutes on the pitch, shed their tear, blood, everything, sweat, everything, and they know what it is to represent a club like that. So they're trying to instill that in place, which is a very good thing. But it requires time. These things require time. So for me, that's the reason I've put Spurs on 6th position, because Mourinho, being the manager he is, he wants whatever tactics are in his mind, he wants them to be implemented on the pitch as it is.
Yeah.
He's done the same with Chelsea, he's done the same with United. If he wants,
wherever he's been, it's been his.
The tactics are same. If he wants a team to park the bus, he'll make sure they do it.
Yeah.
So I feel those tactics are not being well received by the Tottenham players, and that's the reason probably it will be a kind of 6th position finish for them. 5th is with a heavy heart I'm saying Manchester United. 4th being Arsenal. Again, that's a very big call from my side. Only the reason being, we've seen the performances of them against bigger teams, like against Chelsea in the FA Cup, Community Shield a few days ago. So I think
even against City in the FA Cup
semi-final, they had a big game. So I think this is what it does. When you have these players / ex-player managers coming in, it gives them a lot of belief and passion, but it does take time. So I see Arsenal responding to that much better than Manchester United. So that's the reason I've placed them above and put them in the most coveted Champions League spot. Okay, so talking about top 3. So do you think this is going to be a 2-horse race this time, or probably 3-horse race?
Call me biased, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I think this season it's going to be a 3-horse race.
Okay.
With the signings that Chelsea have made, really great signings. Werner, Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Silva, Chilwell.
Right.
They are behind goalkeeper.
They should sign a goalkeeper.
They might as well go for Declan Rice.
Okay.
If these signings click, I think we can see Chelsea really competing for the title. Realistically, I don't expect them to lift the title. However, I expect them to challenge for it. Probably, I think they'll be in the contention till March or April. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think they'll finish 3rd. For top 2 spots, I think Manchester City will make it this time. Yes, City for champions. Nothing against Liverpool. They've been really massive in the last couple of seasons. They've scored more than 90 points.
2 consecutive
seasons, right? But this season, considering all the parameters like short pre-season break, almost they've hardly played in friendlies, right? Considering all these scenarios, I think the bench, your squad depth will come into the play this season, and I think that's where Manchester City might just nick it. Liverpool have a really strong starting 11, but their bench strength is, I'm not really sure whether it's in line with what Manchester City have. They have a really strong bench. So for me, City first, Liverpool second, and Chelsea third.
I agree with you. I think my predictions are exactly the same. The only reason why City lost track of last season and lost the chances of winning the Premier League was because of the rotation policy of the club. I think in important games, if you rest player like KDB, Aguero,
too much of rotation.
The team chemistry gets affected a lot, and that's the reason It got they rather slipped out of their hands. So for me also, I think Chelsea is third, Liverpool second, and for me as well, City is champions. Provided that Pep does not change around the formation too much and his rotation policy, and I think it's not going to be that much of difference in terms of points. I think probably Chelsea third and Liverpool second will be about 5 to 6 points maybe difference, and second and first would be about very close, 3 to 4 points difference at the maximum.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like last season.
Not
right?
at all. It will be much better this season. And but the only one thing is there which probably changed our entire predictions, or everybody's predictions for that matter, is the rumor that is going about of Lionel Messi arriving.
Oh.
I think that will be a game changer. We all know what kind of player he is.
Yes.
I think he arrives in the Premier League and automatically becomes the best Premier League player at the moment.
But can he do it on a cold and rainy night?
Dude, he's so good. He can do it, make it rain on any night, be it clear, sunny, whatever.
Okay.
I think.
Jokes aside,
Yeah.
even I feel if Messi comes in, it's gonna be I don't know,
It's a game
unstoppable
changer.
force.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Imagine the likes of Aguero,
KDB, Sterling.
I want to have all three of them in my fantasy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think if this transfer does not happen, still I think if Manchester City can keep up with their playing 11, not have many
They
injuries,
still have a very strong squad.
yeah, and Pep not shuffling and rotating around, I think Manchester City will be able to take the crown this season.
So these are our Premier League predictions for upcoming season.
Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.
And like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell notification icon.
Like I said, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with as many people as possible, because that will help motivate us, and when we come up with the next video, more and more people can enjoy it.